We are all digital hoarders. Photos, documents, videos, logs, backups. Every day the world creates 300 million terabyte of data. Where does it all go? It doesn't flow in the sky. It lives in the Azure Storage. Welcome to Chapter 7. I am Minhaj, your guide to success. After the heavy mental lifting of Chapter 6, this chapter is going to feel like a breath of fresh air. We are going to explore the digital warehouse. We'll talk about where to put your files, how to back them up instantly, and how to save money by freezing data you don't use. Let's get organized. Imagine walking into a massive warehouse. You have 4 different types of containers to store your goods. These are 4 main storage services. The first one is Blob Storage, or it's also called as the bottomless bucket. Blob stands for binary large object. Think of this as a massive bottomless bucket. You throw in unstructured things like photos, videos, backup files, and logs. It has no folders, just a flat sea of data. Exam inside. If the exam asks about streaming video, or storing backups, or unstructured data, the answer is Blob Storage. The second type is Azure Files, also called the shared cabinet. This is your classic network drive, the S drive or the Z drive. It uses the SMB protocol. It's like a filing cabinet that everyone in the office can open at the same time. Exam inside. If you need to lift and shift a legacy app that expects a standard file sharing, use Azure Files. The third type is disk storage, or the personal hard drive. This is the hard drive physically plugged into a virtual machine. It's fast and dedicated to that one computer. The fourth type is storage queues and tables. These are for developers. Queues are for messages waiting to be processed, and tables are for simple lists. Now, let's talk about money. Storing data costs money. To lower the bill, Azure uses temperature to describe how often you touch your data. The first, hot tier on the disk. This is for data you use every day. It's like keeping a file on your actual disk. It costs the most to store, but it's free to access instantly. The second, cool tier, or the archive room. This is for the data you haven't touched in 30 days. It's like putting files in a box in the closet. Storage is cheaper, but you'll pay a small fee every time you open the box. The third is archive tier, the frozen vault. This is the data you need to keep for 10 years for legal reasons, but will probably never look at. It's incredibly cheap, but there is a catch. The third is archive tier, or the frozen vault. This is for the data you need to keep for 10 years for legal reasons, but will never probably use it. Exam alert. You cannot read the data in archive tier instantly. You must rehydrate it, which takes up to 15 hours. If the exam asks about lowest cost for long-term retention, it's archive. What happens if the hard drive breaks? In Chapter 5, we talked about regions. Now we apply that to the storage. First, LSR, the local redundancy. Microsoft makes 3 copies of your file inside the same building. It's the cheapest option, but if the building burns down, your data is gone. The second, ZRS, zone redundancy. Microsoft makes 3 copies across the different buildings in the same city. If one building burns down, your data is safe in the other two. GRS, Geo-Redundancy. Microsoft takes your data and copies it to a completely different region pair. Remember the 300-mile rule? If the entire East Coast gets hit by a meteor, your data is safe on the West Coast. Exam insight. The exam will give you a scenario. A company needs the cheapest option but must survive a data center failure. The answer is ZRS, Zone Redundancy. Finally, how do we get our data into warehouse? You can't just email a petabyte of data. There are 3 ways. First one, Azure Import Export Service. If you have terrible internet, Microsoft will mail you hard drive. You fill them up and mail them back. The second way is Azure Data Box. For massive data, that's in petabyte or terabytes, they send you a heavy-duty server case. You plug it in, fill it, and ship it back. The third way is AZ Copy. This is a command line tool for moving files over the internet quickly. Exam alert. If the question mentions shipping physical drive, look for data box or import export. You now understand the backbone of the internet. Every time you watch the Netflix, you are streaming from a blob. Every time you check an old bank statement, you pulling from a cool or archive tier. You aren't just a user anymore. You are a data guardian. You know how to keep information safe, available, and cheap. That is the skill every company in the world is hiring for. In Chapter 8, we are going to lock the doors. We are talking about identity and security. Microsoft Entra ID. This is my personal favorite topic as an admin. I am Minhaj, your guide to success, and I'll see you in Chapter 8.